This is Cupcake, and this is my third video just talking about vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery that I had on January 26th. And right now I'm 5 to 6 weeks out from surgery, I believe. And so I'm just want to talk about where I'm at, what I'm eating. My surgery weight was 234. My highest weight was somewhere in the 290s. And as of this morning, before I ate or drank anything, I weighed 201.6, so that's super exciting. So I'm down like 90 some odd pounds from my highest weight, and about 33 pounds since surgery, and I'm between 5 and 6 weeks out. I'm really stoked because last time I weighed myself, which I believe was earlier this week, I was at 205. And the weather's finally been warm enough in Utah to get out and walk on my breaks. And so I think that's definitely made a difference, because obviously when I weighed myself this morning, I was down another 4 pounds. So that's really exciting for me. I want to talk a little bit about what I've been eating. I'm pretty cleared to eat anything, within the diet now, except for fresh vegetables, which will come at the 2-month mark for me. So I have a couple more weeks for that. And then also like the dry meats like steak, jerky, probably like some barbecue chicken, stuff like that. I think that they said they want you to wait till like 4, at least, the surgeon's office, dietitian that I saw want us to wait like 4 months after surgery to have that kind of stuff. Anyway, what I have been eating lately is a lot of chili. I have been crazy about chili. I've been eating it a lot, and I've done different things with it. I bought like canned chili because I'm honestly pretty lazy and I'm not a good cook. So I bought a bunch of canned chili, and one batch that I made myself, I added a can of mixed vegetables to it and then some hot sauce, and that was pretty good, and I had that for a few days. And then my husband made me some that was like white chicken chili, and he added stewed tomatoes for me, and also like canned chicken breast to it, up the protein in it. So I had that, and that was really good, especially with cheddar cheese melted in it. Then it kind of tastes like the enchilada soup from Chili's. That's what it reminds me of, and I love that soup, so that was awesome. We still eat out fairly often. Obviously, I've just changed what I've been eating when we do eat out. Something that I love is the Chili's at Wendy's. It lasts me for a few meals. It's super delicious. It's like one of my favorite things right now. Get it like once a week, and then it lasts me for a couple of meals basically. At work, I've been eating tuna. They have like the 99-cent little containers of tuna that are different flavors. I've tried the ranch flavor, which is good, by the way, because it's moist. Sorry if you hate that word, but I've tried the hickory, which was okay. I've tried the sweet and spicy, which I didn't really like. I tried the Mexican flavor that I got at Target, which was really, really good. That was like one of my favorites so far. I've tried lemon pepper. That was okay. I tried Mediterranean. I didn't like that one at all. The herb garlic was okay. So I've been eating a lot of tuna. Sometimes I mix it with like soup. I put some of the tuna in the soup, and that probably sounds gross, but you can barely taste that it's tuna. And so it's just added protein. I really love soup, especially right now. So I added it to red pepper tomato soup, and that was good. I've added it to chili, and that was good. So I've been eating a lot of tuna. I started snacking on like peanut butter and almond butter, little packets of those. Sometimes I'll eat like Justin's peanut butter cups. I'll eat like half of one or one for a snack. And that's obviously not really within diet, but I'm not gonna feel too guilty about it. It has protein, and it tastes good, and it doesn't have too many carbs. And so sometimes I snack on those. I've been eating yogurt for breakfast pretty consistently when I'm at work. I've been doing the Oikos, the black container. yogurt because it's high in protein and it doesn't have like added sugar and stuff like that. I've been eating those. I can only eat like not even, well, maybe like half of one at a time. I've definitely been eating more. I've been finding myself hungrier, and so I've been eating more, sometimes up to like 4 ounces at a time. I did try Halo Top ice cream last weekend, and yeah, I way overdid it on that. I ate like between 5 and 6 ounces of that, which was a big no-no, and I definitely felt it afterwards. I felt awful after eating so much, just uncomfortable, full, not feeling very happy with my decision. You know, I kind of wanted to keep eating it, which is something that after you have the sleeve, it's not really something that you can do or that you should be doing. So, but I am eating up to 4 ounces at a time, just depending on what I'm eating. Sometimes when I'm hungry, I'll go back and after I've eaten and everything's settled, then I'll have a little bit more. But it's all, you know, it's all protein and vegetables pretty much. So I'm not feeling too bad about it, and obviously I'm still seeing progress. Purple hands. Yeah, that's a lot of what I've been eating. When we do fast food, I do beans. I'll do the inside of a burrito. Obviously not all of it because I can't really finish that much. Usually burgers. I started eating burgers, just like the burger patty and cheese. Is basically all I can tolerate, obviously, from that. I did have pizza last weekend, and that was just kind of a disaster, to be honest. I got thin crust, and we ordered from Papa John's, so I had like the garlic butter sauce, which like I've loved forever. So I got a bunch of toppings. You know, I got some spicy sausage and vegetables, and I got extra sauce, extra cheese, because I didn't want it to be too dry or anything. So I got that, and I overate the first time because we had leftovers, which is pretty common after you have the VSG. You're gonna have leftovers. Only had 2 tiny bites of the crust, and then I just ate the toppings off of it and had some of the garlic butter sauce, and it totally tasted, you know, it tasted fine. I mean, I wanted the crust, but with the garlic butter sauce, it totally tasted like pizza, and I was okay with that. But I didn't feel good, and I overate because I didn't measure out my food. I went to have it the next morning, and it just made me feel awful. So as far as pizza goes, it's not going to be something that I'm going to eat again for a long time. And it's weird because pizza used to be one of my favorite things. I used to be able to eat at least a half a pizza in a sitting, and now I can just have the toppings and not even all of the toppings off of just one piece. And so it's not the same thing anymore, obviously, but I had really wanted it, and so we ordered it, and that's not going to happen for a long time. So, and I'm okay with that. It's just odd when things that you used to really love, you don't feel the same way. Like I used to love Arby's, but now, like, honestly, lunch meat, you know, like the roast beef or whatever from Arby's, it's just not the same. It's not the same without the bread, and all you're getting is the meat. And the meat, it just, for me, it doesn't satiate anything. You know, it's like such a small amount that you can actually eat that I'm just not into it. So I haven't been eating a lot of lunch meat, even though I know that it can be like a good source of protein and stuff. I'm just not feeling it right now, so I haven't really been eating it. So things I really like are things that honestly go down better, like they go down easier. Chili, and beans, like refried beans, or, you know, the insides of burritos and stuff like that. Like not rice necessarily, just the beans and cheese and whatever else. We did go out to dinner. I've never been to Cracker Barrel before, and we went out to dinner, and I got meatloaf, and I could only eat a little bit of it, but it was good. And I had a little bit of green beans, and I had leftovers, a lot of leftovers, so I ended up giving them to my husband because there's no way that I could finish them before they went bad. And that's a pretty common thing, I think, once you have surgery, is you're gonna have so many leftovers, especially depending on what you order, that you're not gonna always finish it before it goes bad. So other people might eat your leftovers, or you might be throwing them away. That, or you're gonna get sick of eating the same thing for like several meals, which happens. Sorry, my nose itches and now it's red, and my hands are purple, so that's awesome. So that's kind of where I've been. I've been doing so much better on my water intake. Most days I do get in 64 ounces. I thought that that wasn't going to happen, to be honest. Like, I was really struggling with getting enough water in, but it just takes time. It takes time, and now I find that if I get my water and my vitamins in early in the day, then I like don't have to stress about it for the rest of the day. Then it's like whatever water I get in on top of what I'm supposed to get in is just kind of gravy. Of course, getting like all my vitamins and like my medications in, just taking multivitamin, just, you know, in case I didn't discuss it before, or in case you're wondering and don't know, but I take a multivitamin, I take B12, I take blood pressure meds, and I stopped taking Protonics. I stopped taking it because I wasn't having heartburn, and it seems like as soon as I stopped taking it, then I started to get really hungry again. And then just this last week, I felt like I was getting heartburn again. And so I've been starting to take that again. And the PA that I saw said that's a medication you can stop and start, and so that it's not like a huge deal, you know, that I wanted to get off of it. And so I'm sure it's not a huge deal if I'm taking it again. So I've been taking that. I'm not taking metformin anymore. I don't know where my insulin levels are. I haven't had any blood work or anything since surgery. I feel like I might be low on iron, especially because like my menstrual cycle is way out of whack ever since I had surgery. It's just completely different than it was before. I'm sorry if this, you know, if you don't want to hear this. This is just part of it. But I will bleed heavier and for longer now, and it seems like my cycle, it's not the same duration. I feel like I'm having my period more often than I was, and I'm sure that that has a lot to do with the weight loss, the quick weight loss. So I'm dealing with that, but luckily I haven't had like a lot of cramps or anything. So I'm not sure if that has to do with losing weight as well, but I haven't had like crazy cramps or anything. I still get a little moody, but most of all, I think that I might be low on iron. It might be something that I'll get tested for. I'm still feeling pretty tired a lot of the time, but not as tired as I was, and water really does help with that. I didn't really believe that, and then once I started to get enough water in, I definitely have more energy than I did before. So it's super important to get your water in. You're not getting water from the foods that you're eating, you only get it from the fluids that you're drinking. As far as fluids go, I have a hard time drinking water plain by itself. Usually, like, as far as like when I'm at work, which is 5 days a week, I start my morning with some chai tea. It's decaf. I haven't had any caffeine since surgery, but it's decaf, and I put a little bit of, like, a little packet of creamer in it because it just tastes better and it thickens it up and it's more enjoyable. But ever since I wasn't seeing the scale move as much as I wanted to earlier in the week, so now I'm only doing like half a container of creamer, like just the little individual size ones. I think those have like 5 carbs, and I'm doing like half of one in my tea in the morning, and that's like 10 to 12 ounces of tea. And then from there, I just drink a lot of Fiji water, and I got this Dasani flavoring that's pear and acai, and it's pretty good. It turns your water green, so everybody's like, oh, what are you drinking? But it tastes good, and so I drink a bunch of Fiji, and then I usually end my day with sugar-free popsicles, which the PA said is fine to do. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my last video, probably not, but the Favorite Red popsicles that are sugar-free, that are Popsicle brand, I got those at Target. Those have been the best tasting ones. They have cherry, raspberry and strawberry, and those have been the best tasting sugar-free popsicles that I found. And so I'm a fan of those, my husband's a fan of those, so I usually end the night with sugar-free popsicles, you know, unless I decide to eat like 6 ounces of Halo Top. I'm just kidding, that's not gonna happen again. I definitely recommend measuring out your food because it's something that I've been really bad about, and then I overeat and then I'm uncomfortable. I haven't thrown up or anything like that from eating, thankfully, but I have overdone it, and you definitely feel it when you do that. You know, I always worry about like stretching my pouch out, so yeah, I would just make sure and measure out your food. Okay, so I just wanted to finish my video. I had to delete some stuff in my iPhone because apparently it's almost full. So that's what I was doing. Anyway, but yeah, I was talking about measuring out my food, or like recommending that other people measure out their food if they're struggling with overeating. Recommend it definitely. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about all that's going on with me right now. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.